day all. I warmly welcome you to Wanies Academy. So in our chemistry class today, we'll be looking at a different topic, and that topic is tagged Electrolysis of Aluminium Oxide. So I have aim outlined for this very class. So the aim for this class is to clearly explain the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. Then I also have objectives outlined for this class. So at the end of this class, the students should be able to, 1, state the products discharged at the electrodes, then 2, give relevant chemical equations for reactions that occur at the electrodes during the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. So I start the class proper. So firstly, I need you to understand that aluminium is a highly reactive metal. As a matter of fact, aluminium is higher than carbon in the reactivity series of metals. So aluminium is quite reactive. And as a matter of fact, aluminium is higher than carbon in the reactivity series of metals. So as a result of these facts, now aluminium cannot be extracted from its ore, which is bauxite. The ore of aluminium is called bauxite, right? By reduction with carbon. So we can't extract aluminium from its ore by reduction with carbon. Since it's more reactive than carbon, it's higher than carbon in the electrochemical series or reactivity series of metals. Thus, aluminium is usually extracted from its ore, which is called bauxite. So the ore of aluminium, the natural form of aluminium, is called bauxite, and that is loosely what we call aluminium oxide. So the ore of aluminium is called bauxite, and this is actually what we refer to as aluminium oxide, right? Aluminium oxide, now which is also called alumina. So it's also referred to as alumina. So this is the ore from which aluminium is extracted. So due to its high reactivity, we extract aluminium from its ore, which is called bauxite, or what we call aluminium oxide or alumina, by electrolysis. So take note of that. Now let's look at how we prepare the aluminium oxide or the alumina for the electrolysis to extract aluminium from it. Now, firstly, I need you to understand that aluminium oxide in its pure form has a very high melting point. So aluminium oxide in its pure form, it has a very high melting point, which is well over 2000 degrees Celsius. So that means to melt aluminium oxide will be quite expensive since it has a very high melting point, which is as higher than 2000 degrees Celsius. And that makes it quite expensive to melt. So as a result of this, now what we usually do to reduce the energy cost in melting aluminium oxide, we add a substance called cryolite. So a substance that is called cryolite is added. A substance called cryolite is usually added to aluminium oxide. So the cryolite would basically dissolve the aluminium oxide. So when cryolite is added to aluminium oxide, the cryolite will basically dissolve aluminium oxide. And as a result of that, it lowers the melting point to about 950 degrees Celsius. And this brings about a significant reduction in energy cost needed for that melting. So when cryolite is added to aluminium oxide, it dissolves it and thus reduces the melting point to about 950 degrees Celsius. That reduces the energy cost required for that melting, and it also increases the electrical conductivity of the aluminium oxide. Now let's look at the electrolytic cell, the setup for the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. I haven't melted it to the molten form or the molten state. Now firstly, the cathode, the negative electrode called cathode, right, is usually, we have the steel tank, which is lined with graphite. So graphite serves as the cathode, the negative electrode. So graphite. So the negative electrode in the electrolysis of aluminium oxide is graphite. So the cathode, which is our negative electrode, is graphite. So basically, the steel, now the steel tank in the electrolytic cell that we use for the electrolysis of aluminium oxide is lined with graphite, which is an allotrope of carbon. Then the positive electrode that we call anode, they are also graphites, several large graphite blocks are used as the anode. So similarly, graphite, right? Graphite blocks are also used as the positive electrode in the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. Then thirdly, the electrolyte that we use is basically, the electrolyte that we use in this electrolysis is basically a molten mixture of the aluminium oxide and the cryolite. So the electrolyte that we use in this electrolysis is basically a molten mixture of aluminium oxide, molten. So remember, molten means that it's melted. So remember, it was melted by the addition of cryolite. So molten mixture of cryolite and aluminium oxide. So aluminium oxide, Al2O3, aluminium oxide and cryolite, and the cryolite. So take note of that. All right, so now let's go to the electrolysis proper. So now basically, we'll pass a DC, a direct current is passed through the cell. And when the DC is passed through the cell, what happens basically is that migration of the ions would start taking place. So when we pass a direct current, a DC, through the electrolytic cell, now the migration of the ions would happen or start taking place. Now this is what happens at the cathode, which is the negative electrode. So at the cathode, of course, at the cathode, what happens at the cathode is reduction, which has to do with the gain of electrons. So what happens at the cathode is basically reduction. And reduction is gain of, of electrons. So at the cathode, the positively charged aluminium ion that comes from the ionization of the aluminium oxide would migrate to the cathode and there gain electron to form the molten aluminium metal. So this is what I'm referring to. So the aluminium ion, the positively charged aluminium ion, which is Al3 plus, would migrate to the negative electrode, which is called the cathode, and it gains electrons there. So it will gain electron at that point. So that will be to gain electrons, 3e minus, and there it becomes reduced. It will be reduced to give us the molten aluminium metal. So that is what happens at the cathode. Then at the anode, now what happens at the anode, right? Remember that the anode is the positive electrode. So at the anode, oxidation happens at the anode. So anode is the positive electrode. So what happens at the anode is that the negatively charged oxide ion, that is O2 minus, right, will lose electrons since oxidation happens at the anode. Now this is what I'm referring to. At the anode, we have the negatively charged oxide ion, O2 minus, now losing electrons to give us oxygen gas, O2 is produced, and electrons are basically lost here. So we have E minus on the positive side, on the right-hand side of the equation. So the equation is not balanced. We have just one oxygen atom here, but two on the right-hand side. So we add a 2 here. So the oxygen atoms are now balanced, but the charges, we have a total of 4 charges, electrons, on the left-hand side of the equation, but 1 here. Therefore, we add a 4 here. So this is what happens at the anode. So electrons are lost at the anode to give us oxygen gas. So the oxide ion will lose electrons to form oxygen gas at the anode. So then the overall equation of the electrolysis of aluminium oxide is given to us. So this aluminium oxide, alumina, so that is Al2O3. So that will give us aluminium metal, as I showed you. So remember that the aluminium is formed as a free metal in the molten form at the cathode. So we have Al here, as you can see, Al. Then, of course, oxygen gas is also produced, and that, of course, happens at the anode, the positive electrode. Now, this equation is not balanced, so let's try balancing the equation. So add a 2 here. Aluminium is now 4 on the left-hand side, so we add a 4 here. Aluminium is also 4 now on the right-hand side. Then the oxygen is 6 on the left-hand side. 2 times 3 is 6. So we add a 3 here to balance out the oxygen atom. So the equation is correctly balanced. So with this, we have come to the end of today's class. Now remember to click on the subscribe button and also share this with family and friends. Bye for now.